say Kite Man. You all say
Best DC villain?
Who?
I mean, there's that. You can also say hell yeah, but
Who?
Kite Man.
Kite Man. Oh yeah.
Is he like Ruby Thursday? Or
No,
Crossbones?
he's more along the lines of like a Crazy Quilt or Rainbow Rider.
Or
I fucking love Kite Man.
Chon the Mystic.
And actually, am I incorrect? Is he a Marvel? Maybe I can't remember because I feel like Marvel had like some of the more transportation, for lack of a better term, based villains.
Kite Man is totally a Batman character.
Remember
Okay, he is. All right.
Yeah, because he had the only reason this popped up is because I was thinking about like the recent Batman issues I read, and I was like, "Where's Kite Man been?" Because there was a mini arc in the recent Batman run where, like, they actually devote an entire issue to Kite Man of all people. He has the fucking saddest background story ever.
Of course he does. His name is Kite Man. What do you expect?
A sad sack of shit who tries to drink himself to death. Everyone thinks he sucks. His son hates him, and his wife leaves him.
Oh, thank you, Dan Didio.
It works because like it's the whole issue is him being bossed around by both Batman and the villains of the story, and he's impressing no one. And I think by the end of it, Batman actually takes pity on him.
Does he take off his mask and it's Tim Drake?
No. But I think I remember Kite Man being instrumental in the War of Jokes and Riddles. I think like Kite Man ends up being one of Batman's trump cards. I think to get everyone into some kind of skyscraper where Joker and Riddler are, everyone has Kite Man flight apparatuses, including Killer Croc.
I think Eric is the only one who's going to get this. There was like a Marvel character. His name's like Turner D. Century. And he has like a flying like penny bicycle.
A penny farthing bicycle. It sounds familiar, but
he's got like a mannequin on like the back seat for some reason.
I am very partial to I think it's the Condiment King or Condiment Commander.
Oh, Condiment King. Yeah.
I've always liked. You want to hear some just crazy shit that just should not be?
Sure, always.
Okay, remember it what year was it? Okay, it was like 2015, 2016.
Something.
It was right before Rebirth. And The Flash was wrapping up. And I'm reading it and I noticed that the villain's name is Puzzler. I'm sure you guys know where I'm going. We're gonna go next.
Is it?
No, but please continue.
Okay.
Quizmaster.
There was an episode of the Comedy Button where Ryan Scott brought up Gotham Central, and they were all joking around, and Brian Altano makes a joke about the Riddler being called the Puzzler.
Yeah, that joke's been told. I think Jim Carrey even uses that name when he's going through a list of possible aliases in Batman Forever.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He's like the Puzzler, the Question Man, or something like that, and then he just lands on the Riddler.
The Question Man.
There's also my favorite one, which is a friend of mine said this. He was talking about Gotham and how like on the nose all of its references are. Yeah. It's like the Enigma. You really like riddles. You're like some kind of little guy.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, wait,
I seem really like Benjamin Franklin.
Hi everybody, I'm Connor McGraw. Welcome back to Phantom Zone. We're having After Dark for you here. I know it's been a while. We're back.
Yeah.
It's here.
Hey.
All right.
Arlen Haro, as usual.
I'm Hunter Davenport, and I am barely alive.
As usual.
I'm Eric Fedorchak, and I have half a bottle of wine in me.
And I'm Alan Muir.
Wow, you said it like that.
Okay. I just want to point out before we move on, Jeffrey Combs voiced Kite Man in Batman the Brave and the Bold, and that's great.
Yeah.
That's
I haven't
pretty
heard
great.
it, but I'm into that.
Wait, so he's voiced Brainiac and Kite Man? What?
Yes.
What a prolific career.
Diversify.
I love Jeffrey Combs. Jeffrey Combs can do whatever he wants.
Yes, he can.
Yeah. Yeah, remember when he
it took
toured
me a
around
long
the country as a Poe? That was a thing that happened.
time.
Really?
Yes, playing Edgar Allan Poe on stage.
That's awesome.
He
Yeah.
looks just like him, so I see it.
Yeah.
It took me like when I first played Injustice 2, like every time Brainiac spoke because it's modulated, I was like, I know this fucking voice. Who the fuck is this? And then if I looked it up, I was like, holy shit, the Reanimator is Brainiac.
Yes. Yes.
That performance in Injustice 2 is fantastic, by the way, too.
Yes,
but
it is.
speaking of Gotham, before we get into the actual real news and poppycock TV show, I saw an article about the premiere, and apparently Selena Kyle is now Catwoman, and the way she becomes Catwoman is poison ivy gives her some kind of seed, which then cures her paralysis and also gives her cat powers.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Sure.
What a fantastic show.
I just
There's a
Clearly
picture
the
you
best
can
show
find-
on television.
There's a picture you can find with this little girl with giant literal green cat eyes, and I laughed my balls off.
the first thing I'm finding is a picture of her with that ridiculous mask on.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it's
just-
terrible. I think I found it on Screen Rant earlier.
Why do you still go there?
I have it. It's in my fucking.
It's a trash site.
I know, and it's I'm going to it less and less, mostly because recently they again just like spoil the fucking comic book death, Marvel related, and I was like, you fuckers came in because it says like a Guardian of the Galaxy dies in a recent comic, blah blah blah, and they show a picture of who dies. I'm like, you guys don't understand how this works, do you? Like, you can't dance on a spoiler whilst giving a visual indication of who said spoiler is referencing.
What a great website. What a
Great
fantastic-
They also have just like really bad takes. Oh hey, look, some good news. The Flash season 5, Papa Joe is gonna be back in episode 15.
Oh, good.
Hey,
I hope his back is better.
He's back with like he's jacked to the fucking bones. Like
I know.
Here's what I want.
Daddy Joe is back to save Central City.
Here's what I kind of want to happen. I want it to be revealed that he just forgot how to stand up.
Paralyzed
like-
the whole time.
Oh, I can do this.
Are you okay? He's like, yeah, I've actually been paralyzed since birth. I've had one of those chips that Oliver made for what's her face. I just haven't gotten angry enough recently.
I just want him to be the one guy who defeats Cicada. Like, he just punches him. Like, he knocks the knife away when Cicada throws it at him.
He just shoots him like, guys, we have guns. Like,
Yes, exactly.
Run away.
Yeah. Or he just catches the knife when Cicada
like
throws it at him.
Seems like everyone who shows up in that show with Harry Wells' big fancy sci-fi rifle, no one ever gets to use it.
Yeah.
Except I think so. I think he did use it last year against Shrinky Dink Man.
Shrinky Dink
Dink Man. Derek Mears playing the Shrink Master.
I really hate
After
this.
getting his arm torn off by Negacoop,
and his face collapsed. That was awesome. Didn't see that coming either. Spoilers for those who haven't watched Twin Peaks season 3. Derek Mears gets his face punched in by who plays Cooper?
By a floating or
Kyle.
Kyle
McLaughlin.
Yeah.
wait, okay.
That's awesome. He breaks his arm in an arm wrestling match and then punches him in the face, and his face just it caves in like a watermelon.
I love how like if I was about to ask for context. I'm like, even if I had context, it probably wouldn't make much sense.
Oh, it would take. We would need an entire episode of this show to tell you how you get from point A to Evil Coop breaking Derek Mears' face.
We can tell you some details though. Like Derek Mears is the head of an evil crime organization.
What?
Yes, an international crime syndicate run by Derek Mears.
In order to like get the person they're hiding, basically, like Derek Mears challenges Evil Coop to an arm wrestling match, but since Evil Coop is like supernaturally evil, he just dominates this dude.
I'm
Instead
just
of
having vision.
him, he just sits there and overpowers him, and then breaks his arm at the elbow, and then just murders him in one punch.
I was having visions of Cronenberg's Fly, when Goldberg. God.
It's very much like that scene actually.
Okay.
Except it ends with a Mortal Kombat fatality. It's pretty awesome. Twin Peaks season 3 is so fucking gory.
I need to finally get around to watching it because
it's so weird to see a show like that started on network TV and then return a premium network and then be as ghastly as it was.
There's like
it's really endearing, and I've heard Young Justice, The Outsiders, actually doing the same thing because there's no more Cartoon Network restrictions. They can do whatever they want, more or less.
People are gonna die. All right, cool.
Yeah. So it gets a little more extreme. I think they're doing. I think the storyline involves child trafficking, meta children, basically meta-powered child trafficking.
They're gonna do the Slavers arc from Punisher just with Young Justice.
Robin has like a shotgun.
They're gonna gut a guy and have him eaten by wolves.
As someone who watched the first the premiere of season 3, Black Lightning he is totally messed up.
I heard they're doing some really dark shit with a lot of people, but I haven't started it yet because I don't have a fucking DC Universe account because they're not just really struggling to find a reason to spend money on that service for only a few things. I might get it just for the comic book database, but I do.
There's not a lot.
It's more than what I could get
through other means.
I'm sure there's plenty I could sit there and burn through. Okay, a lot I haven't read, so it's worth the dollars to me. Because I think there's a lot of New 52 stuff on there, and there's a lot of New 52 stuff I haven't read. Court of Owls.
Well, or
I never finished it.
You could see where your nearest local library is and see if they actually have stuff there too.
Libraries are for squares.
A walk. I do still buy stuff. So.
Give me a fucking break.
Meanwhile, I walk an hour to and from work.
I know, you fucking crybaby. Stop it. Stop it.
Anyways, so we're going to talk about some news. What are our quick stuff?
Batwoman.
I didn't hear what happened. Speed round.
I had a fucking hiccup and I was trying to fight back.
Yeah.
This is the Batwoman TV pilot, right?
Yeah, they actually ordered a pilot. So that means that they liked whatever happened during the crossover. I talked about it like I didn't see it. But yeah, they liked it, I guess. Let's see.
I mean, it's a Batman related thing.
Yeah.
I just didn't do anything for me, so I don't know. Personally speaking, I don't see any longevity in it because I don't think Ruby Rose is magnetic enough to carry a whole show.
Yeah, I think that's the great thing about a pilot is that you can just not continue if the pilot's bad.
Yeah. I get that, but I feel like W will kind of probably still commit to it. I'm not even sure if I'm in the minority or not because I didn't check really. I haven't really scanned the interwebs or anything like that. But I don't know. She was of all the things in the crossover, she was the one thing that just didn't land for me. The whole second episode felt like a backdoor pilot, and it felt like it was a lot of Batwoman centered stuff and some Gotham stuff. I'm like, this is all nice, but it feels a lot of it's only here for the sake of being here to say hey, we're gonna do the show at some point soon. It's
Yeah, but in the same sense, isn't that pretty much what all the CW superhero shows want to eventually do? Is introduce more characters?
But I think the only time it's worked for them most of the time, with the exception of individual pieces of the overall thing not clicking, like Hawkgirl, and Hawkman.
But even that other crossover that they did, which was a Legends backdoor, she worked in that pilot. I would say she worked better there than she did in the actual show, because they had a big cast and they could play around her.
There was a lot that initial crossover, that initial backdoor pilot, had a lot going on for limited time it ran. At some point, Vandal Savage kills but then as soon as they jump over to Legends, the show proper, you get that entire middle stretch of season 1 where it's oh my god, this is terrible TV.
Well,
Yeah.
one of the interesting side things I had read recently, and I think it was on Slash Film, one of the sites like that, talking about the reason why they couldn't use the bat signal in the CW crossover was because
They asked Gotham for theirs, and Gotham said no.
Yep.
I would love to know why. Like, is it a petty thing? Is it?
Oh yeah,
like,
totally is.
I don't understand why. Like, that's so dumb.
Why do they even have a bat symbol? He's like 14 years old.
That is a fantastic fucking question, which I didn't stop to think
Why is
about
that
because
show
that's
still
like-
on the air?
He's
I
not
did
even
not have a
Batman
bat
yet.
signal.
The reason why that show is still in the air is because if I remember correctly, when the series ends, it's going to be at 100 episodes, which is the exact
Oh.
amount of episodes to go into syndication.
Oh,
I'm
What
gonna
kind
have
of
to.
sneak
I'm gonna have to
bullshit is
watch
that?
this show on TNT.
Yep.
while I'm waiting for a rerun of Transformers. Then
Why couldn't this show, and it's as bad as the show about Dementia, but like, why couldn't this show just quickly go the way of Birds of Prey and just like disappear?
because we're not that lucky.
yeah.
Because there was actually some talent apparently in Gotham. Like some of the actors are actually good.
Yeah, and I agree there.
Yeah.
Like, because the guy who plays Penguin is like awesome, even if that's
I
like
mean-
it's a weird Elseworlds version of Penguin where he's thin and like loves the
Not
It's
red.
not
Danny
just
DeVito.
him. It's
They got Donald Logue on that show.
yeah.
Yeah.
The person
Who's
that
like- who's
my
like
parents
great-
talk about
great
is Ben
artist.
McKenzie a lot.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
I like Ben
Yeah.
McKenzie. I don't think he's bad. I think the characterization of Gordon sucks because he's a fucking super cop who might as well be Batman himself.
right, but my parents don't care because they don't care because they're my parents and they don't.
Exactly.
If I tell my stepdad that there have been 4 Robins, he'll look at me like I'm a fucking moron.
Sorry, I didn't hear when you said your parents. I thought you said like generally speaking, people like Ben McKenzie, which is something I can agree with.
I mean, to be
Yeah,
fair,
that too.
Harlan,
I've heard
to
that,
be
but
fair,
yeah.
somehow Batman found 4 kids who all look alike.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, when I tell him, my stepdad would be so angry with me, like, this is what you've done with your life. This is who you are. This is what
Could have gone to school.
you
I love
know.
the
Fucking loser.
I love the fact that he'd be angry with you about that. It's the
like,
most irrational
he's
response.
He's angry
Take
that
out
I
a belt.
rewatch movies. Okay, we're not going to turn this into.
Wait. No. He's angry you rewatch movies?
Yes. He looks at me like I'm a terrible person for rewatching a film because he
But
is
you know what's funny
apparently
about that?
never rewatched a film.
What is hilarious about that is that
Is your stepdad fucking Red Foreman?
I mean, kind of. He's a little bit. God.
if you listen to the Home Alone 4 episode of Movie Dumpster, that is how the new stepmom makes the heel turn in the movie. She's like, "Oh, you're rewatching a movie? How pedestrian and poor of you!"
Yes.
And we're supposed to hate this woman based on that. It's like, that's it. That's your attempt to make me dislike this woman who you've been telling me to like this whole time. Now it's like, oh yeah, she sucks. And by the way, I'm gonna go be with my my old wife again. Bye.
By the way, I
Well, I
forgot
mean-
that the maid was the bad guy. I thought it was the stepmom from my memory of that.
Oh yeah, that's
shit
right.
Film.
It's the housekeeper who's 4 scenes
Yes.
before she's like, "Hi, I'm Marv's mother."
That's-
She just
A
appears.
woman we've never seen before in any of the movies is like in 2 scenes and then shows up and is like, "Oh yeah, I'm Marv's mom. I'm the actual villain." And at that point, the movie's just aggressively throwing middle fingers to the audience, like, "We don't care and you don't care." So
That was a great
And
film.
she says it that nonchalantly too, in my memory
Yeah.
at least. She's like,
that
"Oh, I'm
movie-
the bad guy."
the more that movie, the more I like dwell on that movie, like that is objectively the worst movie we've watched, just because of how soulless and like just there's no effort involved in it, and even compared to something like House of the Dead, I think deep down Uwe Boll actually thought he was making art. And believed in what he was
Yeah.
doing, and I don't think there's anybody who made Home Alone 4 who was like, "What we're doing is a good thing." I think they were like, "Nah, fuck it, who cares?"
Uwe Boll did not think he was making art. Uwe Boll was happy to be moving money for the German goddamn mafia.
I was trying to give him. I'm not saying that I truly believe that. I'm trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. Like I think there's room to there.
You have to get that money to Tommy Wiseau, so Wiseau can make
exactly.
Wiseau, I don't think Wiseau's
in comparison, I would rather watch an Uwe Boll than go back and sit through Home Alone ever again.
Well, yeah.
Bad movies are highly amusingly bad movies because they're just you watch it and go, what the fuck? Just everything. What is that?
Right. Well, like I mean, you guys will probably get to Blood Rain eventually, and like the stories behind the scenes on that are crazy.
Oh yeah, there's an excerpt from Tales from the Script, the documentary just about screenwriters, about that woman who wrote Blood Rain and like basically got an angry voicemail from Uwe Boll, like, "Where's my fucking script?" Blah! And she was like, "Okay, that man's never to call me again." And she handed him a rough draft, and he goes, "Okay, we film tomorrow." And she goes, "What? This is nothing. This isn't complete. This isn't done." She's like, "This is a seedling." He goes, "It's fine. We do it tomorrow." And she's like, and then he let the actors take a crack at the script. She's like, so basically, about 20% of what I wrote is actually on screen.
What a great guy.
Uwe Boll, real professional.
Apparently, it's the best thing he's ever done because people there say he's incredibly nice and the service is fantastic. I don't know, maybe just in the wrong career field, obviously.
Have you ever seen the Rampage movies?
No, but they like dime store Punisher films to me.
They all fucking suck. First of all,
that's the only movies where he's actually trying to say something where he's
and they suck.
That's the thing. Like that, those movies and Pulse are the only movies where he attempts to say something meaningful with any kind of weight behind it, but it's just buried under nonsensical.
Because he has a child's view of the world. I swear to God, like you just watch this movie,
it's a really like Baby Town's first social commentary kind of thing.
It feels like a really pissed off teenager.
Yeah, but anyway, Batwoman.
Speaking of pissed off teenagers,
the more I think about it, like the more just like middle of the road I am with it, and I'm just.
I mean,
whatever. That's kind of where I'm at.
It's the first CW thing they've announced so far about like incoming stuff, like more elements of this universe. Where I'm like, I don't know. I think I could go without it. Like,
to be fair though, there have been worse. More than likely, whatever happens, there has been worse.
Definitely,
also,
but
yeah.
Go ahead, Harlan. Sorry.
No,
I was just going to say this feels just like a stopgap since they can't get Batman.
Yeah,
it is. I mean, it is. It definitely is. But
I think that's part of it too. Like, I'm exhausted with WB like saying you can have these toys, but you can't have these toys. Very, very superficial reasons.
These toys. It's
can't have Deathstroke anymore because he's going to be such a big part of the jail.
Like the thing, even to, I'm going to actually defend Gotham for like to tell them you can't use the Joker, even if I disagree with them using the Joker. Oh, you can't do that. Why? Well, because.
Did you? Okay.
That's not a reason. Like there's no reason why you can't. If you're going to have 3 fucking Commissioner Gordons and 2 Robins and 4 Batmans and all this other kind of stuff out in the air and 2 Barry Allens, like there's no reason why you can't have a small screen version of the Joker. It just seems sensible to me.
There's 3 Jokers.
Shut up. That's never been never.
Chip Zdarsky tweet where he's like,
yep.
I told Marvel that I'm just going to go to DC and slip them a piece of paper that says 4th Joker.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I could. Batwoman feels like it feels like we can't have Batman, so we'll just do the thing instead, and that just feels kind of like you're settling. And I don't know.
Yeah, if that's what they have to do, that's what they have to do. I'm more for like judging it on what it is at the moment, and also this is the important thing. Stephen Amell didn't start out like at the competency that he is at now in Arrow. Like we all talk about him and nobody thinks that he's a bad actor at this point, but if you do go back to season 1, there are some rough moments in there where it's like he's obviously not a real actor. He's clearly like a fashion model who stumbled into acting.
He just handsome.
Fashion model who picked up the physicality of this stuff like a fucking natural.
Yeah, and he's
point where,
grown
like, he
into a
became
real actor later on.
That and like he that ability and seamlessly transition from that into like pro wrestling gigs where people walk away from it like
Yes.
Christopher Daniels is like a 45-year-old veteran of the industry. He's been in WCW. He's wrestled in every like major company who isn't the WWE at this point. All of the world basically said like that guy fucking loves this and really respects what this is and did a fantastic job.
Hell yeah.
Oh, and that guy, I think Amel went through a fucking table at an indie show, like took a moonsault from somebody. Like he dove in and didn't say no to anything.
Right. Anyways, what I'm saying is I'm willing to give Ruby that same chance. Like I'm willing to let her like maybe not be such a good actor for a season. Literally a season. if she still has no ability after 3 seasons of Batgirl somehow,
and like
that's
play
a different story.
Give it a little bit of leeway. Like Legends season 1, as we just previously said, was to find its footing. And like the first third of the season is okay. The middle third is like just shit and it almost made me drop the show. The last third is fantastic, and then we all know how great season 2. Said that a bunch of times. So like I think if anything, this network does learn from growing pains. So
yeah.
I feel like Ruby Rose has larger aspirations than being irregular on a CW TV show.
I wouldn't be surprised if we hear she's recasted at some point. Very soon.
Here's the thing: like, I know she had larger aspirations, but I think the industry as a whole, like, has seen all she can do, and has basically said, like, yeah, no.
Yeah,
I
remember
a few years ago, like, she was in fucking every goddamn magazine. People would tell about Ruby Rose. Like basically right after she debuted in Orange.
Yep.
I think then she was poised to be something, and then it just like fluttered. I think everyone was like, "No, you're kind of a one-trick pony. Like, you're very easy on the eyes, and you are a beautiful human being. However, you're not an actor."
Yeah.
Have the natural.
What do you mean, like putting her in John Wick 2 as the deaf person?
That should tell you everything about.
She was
because she doesn't have to speak.
Yeah. Like she's a good physical performer, a lot like Stephen Amell. So I feel like the comparisons are very apt. Like again, he was not an actor. He did not know what he was doing.
I do feel bad for Amell in the sense because like she had to be in a fucking Resident Evil movie. Had to play like seventh fiddle to fucking Alice, but like Amel's big break into movies was supposed to be Ninja Turtles, which should have like been a no-brainer. That movie is like toasted garbage.
I mean, okay, it's watchable. Let's not say the second one's not.
It was a bad film. It's a bad film.
I got up to the Krang fight and was like, I don't know what the fuck I'm looking at because it is so much CGI nonsense, and it's desaturated and everything's just this metallic cover, and I can't tell what's what. And like there's just bouncing off each other, and it just looks like people taking action figures and going bam, bam, slam, blah, blah, blah.
I mean, okay, fair enough.
Anyways, do we want to move on to the next topic?
I think we've explored Batgirl well enough. Okay, where do we want to start?
Explored her enough.
Okay.
No, please don't do that.
I don't know where we want to start with Marvel because there's a lot, but yeah. Where do we want to go?
Huh? Somebody? Who? What's that? Huh?
Said Marvel.
Which part though? There's a bunch of stuff. There's a bunch of Marvel things. What thing do we want to go to first? Is what I'm.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Punisher, we've got Captain Marvel.
I would start with Punisher, I suppose.
Yeah.
The show that I'll watch, and then probably the minute I get bored, not watch any more of it because I don't care at this point because I know there's nothing going to happen after it.
Yep, it's meaningless.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all gonna watch it, but
I'll watch it, but I'm not.
Yes. Here's the thing: I will watch it. However, I am not going to go out of my way to invest in this show.
Yes.
Netflix and Marvel have done their best to make sure that any future investment in these shows is out the window because now we know they're just going to plan on canceling them after another. And 3 of the 5 are already gone. So what the fuck is the point?
They got Thanos.
Like, my enthusiasm is so far down. So it's like, I'm not going to watch these shows the way that I used to. I stayed up till midnight to watch Daredevil season 2 when it premiered, and I watched 5 episodes.
I think I lost sleep the next day because I was so hooked. I brought my laptop to work, and on my lunch sat in a pizzeria and just watched another episode. Like, I was addicted.
And I did the same thing for Luke Cage.
Yeah, like I was really excited. And then we all watched Iron Fist the same way because curiosity was just at an all-time peak. We were like, how bad could this possibly be?
Like, I'll never get that time back ever.
I needed to watch those first 4 hours all together just to get the Prime experience.
Yeah, complete that first episode. It's a fucking nothing.
Even in the Defenders, I was still watching at midnight.
I think I remember being as excited for the Defenders as I was for like the first Avengers movie. And even that show disappointed me. But the more time away from it, I have more problems with it. But I still like those characters a lot together. I think the Hand sucks.
I agree.
I think it's still cool to see them all together.
Office fight sequence
it's still cool.
They start fighting dudes in suits to fucking run the jewels is awesome.
Yes.
Everything about that scene is great. When Luke Cage makes his entrance by walking through a fucking wall.
Yes.
Anyways, our anticipation and excitement is just like in an all-time low. Like, I couldn't.
And I haven't finished Daredevil season 3 yet because I'm like, you guys suck.
Same
for me because here's the thing. It's not that I'm afraid Daredevil season 3 is going to suck because it's what I've seen has been astounding and I know how it ends and I like that it ends there. Like, it sucked any effort for me to invest in this shows just completely out of me. Like, I don't care anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's nothing against John Barenthal or anyone involved in the show. It's more just the fact that we know there's no consequences to this because this is going to be the last season of The Punisher.
Because it was still like wrapping up production as all this stuff was coming out. Like, I guarantee that this season doesn't have an actual proper resolution.
Probably of course not.
It's going to leave Frank in some kind of weird like limbo state where it's like, oh yeah, this could be end, but it could also not be. It's like, oh, thanks for that fucking blue balls. That's great.
Yeah, they'll like set up a war between Frank and fucking Kingpin. It's like, oh well, we'll never see that happen ever. So
nope.
Yeah.
Which I think like every Punisher adaptation so far has been left on I wouldn't say a cliffhanger, but left somewhat unresolved. It's like the Dolph Lundgren Punisher. I don't remember how that ends, but the time ends with him effectively becoming the Punisher. Adapting that personality, and Warzone ends with basically saying like, "Oh yeah, this adventure will continue at some point." Like, he doesn't put down the identity, like it still leaves it open, and so does this. Like, this character can't catch a fucking break.
Well, and I mean, by nature, the Punisher has only ever actually ended via either his series being canceled shortly or in the Max run. He dies at the end of the Punisher Max run.
I would actually like if you were to do movies, The Punisher, where it is essentially a Max run, where we get to watch him kind of go through, watch him go through over time and have a proper resolution. I would be totally down for.
Yeah,
I think that would lend itself to a TV show better. But
I mean,
it's the Max run, the Punisher, the end of it at least, it ends up they introduce the Kingpin to it, and the Kingpin was actually just an idea that was brought up to scare local people into basically siding with the mob. And the one guy who go ahead.
Max universe essentially exists like separate from any kind of superpowered people, doesn't it?
Yeah, for the most part. Like Deadpool
there
had
is a werewolf by night, Max. And he's an actual werewolf, so not really.
And that's the thing. The Max comic run wasn't really a cohesive universe. Yeah. It was because, I mean, if you think about Punisher Max, like, there's not a single mention of another superhero in it at all.
That's what I mean. It's the closer you get to the larger Marvel universe is like Nick Fury.
Yeah. And
Shield, and that's it. Like, and for the most part, you stick to Frank and what's happening around Frank, and like the larger world of superheroes doesn't matter because it doesn't. Yep. It's a reason for it to be introduced here. You can get away with Daredevil and Captain America, but even they don't belong there.
No, they would. I mean, the only person I could see showing up when it would be Wolverine, and even then, it wouldn't make sense because they've established everything to be that nobody really has superpowers. Like
and
Bullseye.
like Max is very grounded and realistic.
Mhm.
If you suddenly said like, yeah, I know we've been grounded and realistic, but here's a guy with metal claws who can't die.
Exactly.
Yes, forks for hands.
Exactly. Yeah. Now go piss on this
yeah,
guy's
I mean,
family so we can see his
and
response.
I feel bad for Bernthal because I feel like he's also somebody who just is being on the edge of something big for his career, and
He loves it.
keeps. Walking Dead was great, but he needs more, and he probably needs like a big screen, like big break. I think he has that. I think he has the fucking brutality and grittiness down for a Frank Castle, and it sucks. We probably never see him in this role again.
Yeah.
All he does is grunt.
I mean, he's always great in everything that he's in. You know, like he shows up in what was that fucking Ben Affleck movie? I can't remember the fucking name of it. The Taxman or whatever.
The accountant. He also don't forget he shows up in what is it? The movie with Jeremy Renner as the guy who's the tracker.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, like he was good in that for the very short amount of time he was in it.
He's in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Yeah, he's gotten all these roles that are like mid-level at best, and nothing has really come of it.
Well, he's a character actor, which is the problem.
Yeah.
There's room for character actors everywhere. Look at this show is like where I just forget people's names. The guy who played Abe Sapien.
Doug Jones.
He gets work left and right. Everyone's like, Colin Weird, come be in your suit.
Come be in absentia.
I feel like everyone involved in the Netflix stuff, all those actors, like with the exception of D'Onofrio, because his career is already built and there's nothing you can do to be curbed at this point. But like, I feel bad for Charlie Cox. I feel bad for I can't remember who plays Luke Cage.
Mike Coulter.
Yeah.
Coulter. Ritter is probably gonna be fine because she's done other stuff before this. And Finn Jones, like he was in Game of Thrones and then Iron Fist, and I don't know what's going to happen to him after this.
The
only other place I've seen him in. The only place I've seen him in was Leatherface, the Texas Chainsaw reboot, the other Texas Chainsaw reboot, and that movie is fucking bad.
What is it? It's just called Leatherface.
Leatherface, and it's attempting to retell for the third time the fucking origins of Leatherface, and it's so fucking stupid. I wish that series would just die, and I love Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I don't know. I just the Netflix stuff was a fantastic little experiment that seems to have gone up in flames.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like they're gonna. I still feel like they're gonna salvage what they can and bring it all to Hulu. Because like you listed off all these actors, and I don't think you get casting that perfect, and then you just throw it away. I just don't see it.
It's Disney / Marvel, and they don't care. Like they've got money to throw around.
I think
they
Marvel
do,
cares.
though. Like there's a reason.
Marvel cares, but Disney could. I wouldn't say they don't care, but they are indifferent to the whole process, and it's kind of they're so powerful at this point. It's like, yeah, he's great for it, but who cares? Like,
I mean, yeah, but the only reason we're getting Wolverine rumors is because they know Hugh Jackman is an important deal. Like they know that if they were to get him, even for a movie, that would be a big thing. That would be huge. Like, so they're not dumb when it comes to that. Like they know what people want and what people expect. That's why every first Marvel movie, they have cameos. That's why Lou Ferrigno is in every Hulk movie that has ever been made. They're not just. I don't believe they're gonna just throw the baby out of the bathwater with this.
But that's the thing. I could see them being dormant for so long with this stuff that it wouldn't make a difference if they brought back the same people.
Oh, we know that it's a 2-year thing at the moment. That it's after 2 years that they can put out whatever they want, and it should be fine. And the same actors will come back.
They could, but I feel like fandom nowadays is definitely much more fickle than it used to be. So
Yeah.
2 years is a long fucking time.
Understatement of the century right there.
Yeah.
It is, and I mean that's that's why the Doctor Who fandom is so weird, because they'll have like these 1.5 year long breaks, and the entire fandom changes its mind about what they think about the show in that 1.5 year. So they just some of them just stop watching because they've decided that they hate last season, even though they loved it when it first aired.
Yeah,
so
that sounds about right.
So like in 2 years, we might decide that all the Netflix Marvel stuff is bad. I'm not saying that I will. I think I'm going to have pretty similar opinions of it then, but the world might decide that they're all terrible, except for Jessica Jones, which is something that has been said.
The world will decide that because Moon Knight will come out and make everyone forget how bad the Netflix Marvel shows were.
I mean,
I've activated Hunter.
The way Moon Knight is less likely than ever to happen.
I think of all those shows, Daredevil will be the one that time is the most kind to, because then if someone says like, "Oh, Daredevil's really bad," it's like, no, the fucking movie's really bad. And so if we're gonna compare and contrast, like Daredevil the series is still fantastic and the movie is dog shit.
But I don't think
I will still I think in 5 years I'll still be saying the Daredevil TV show is fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't honestly think there's many people who confuse the TV show and the movie at this point. Maybe I'm wrong, but
you'd be surprised.
You talk to the wrong people then.
I think there are people that confused Ben Affleck as Batman and Daredevil. I've seen that happen in real time.
I have run into real people who I think it was working at a McDonald's at the time. It was right before Dark Knight Rises was coming out. And there are very clear and evident pictures and promotional material that said Anne Hathaway to play Catwoman. And it was like, oh yeah, I can't wait to see Batwoman, the new Batman movie. Why isn't Michael Batman? It's the same guy, right?
What?
Yeah.
What?
Are they high?
That person
was the sixth sequel to Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah, that person just has a fundamental misunderstanding of how movies work and
yeah.
Right. It's
I'm like, she's playing Catwoman. It says right there, she's playing Catwoman. She's like, no, she's playing Batwoman. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're right.
Like somebody going to see Spider-Man Homecoming and they're like, is Toby in this one? Is Doc Ock gonna come back? God fucking damn it.
Why aren't they eating pie at a diner?
Oh, Aunt May is really young. What happened to the old woman?
Well, this would also mean that this person probably watched the Amazing Spider-Man movies and would be like, why is that person different now?
That means over time they watched Aunt May have this like Benjamin Button-esque transformation.
Yeah, exactly.
And Uncle Ben keeps coming back to life to be shot in the street.
It's all connected.
Until he just doesn't exist anymore.
Exactly. He's been turned to dust. Yeah.
Okay. I think we've covered Punisher.
The next Spider-Man reboot, Aunt May will be the same age as Peter.
Oh my god, that'd be hilarious.
She'll be younger. What do we want to do next? Do we want to do Captain Marvel? Do we want to talk about Endgame at all? What's the plan?
Maybe Endgame, because I feel like Endgame is going to be a little bit shorter in terms of what we have to say about it.
I mean, as far as what we've been shown, saw Hunter say it earlier that we've likely only been shown the first 15-20 minutes of the movie. Yeah. Just clips from it.
Only showing stuff from that first 15 minutes. Yeah,
and it actually goes back to last year saying that Marvel was taking a different approach to the marketing. I was going to do something a little different with the Endgame trailer. And I did see someone at some point suggested Marvel won't show any new footage at all. And I was like, I don't think they can sell a movie sight unseen, but okay.
Yeah, they can. This movie, yes, they could.
I think if anyone
they could get away with no trailers. I think.
Yep. I think they could very easily just show 5 seconds of footage with a date,
and that maybe a Super Bowl spot, a singular Super Bowl spot, and that's all they would need for this one.
they could just like it'd be like 2 seconds of like a glimpse of Thanos, and be like, yeah.
Yeah. No,
But I don't think you could, and well, I don't think it's wise because like the amount of press you get and attention and clicks and eyeballs and whatever from the hours alone is like staggering.
Yeah,
it is, but I think that's also trying to apply a paradigm to something that has never existed before within the realm of films in general. Like this is what 10 years of build up to this, and people can argue what you will about how well it was handled and the continuity, but this is still the first time something like this has ever been successfully pulled off.
I was say, if I see one more article about the Infinity Gauntlet in Thor Ragnarok, or Odin's fake Infinity Gauntlet creating a plot hole, I'm gonna punch a baby because I'm tired of hearing that fucking complaint.
Yeah, no, Thor Ragnarok, Hela even said like fake and knocked it over. There, that's all you needed. That's all you needed. That was
someone broke that down, saying like, well, if they said that no one's ever wielded more than an Infinity Stone, then why is there a bunch of fake ones in the Infinity Gauntlet? Blah 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 blah. I'm like, it's an Easter egg, you fucks.
Stop reading screen.
It's just anyways, but it's like let's assume that there's a certain number of people who just assumed that the ending of Infinity War was just the end.
Yeah.
Like they just assume that that's the end. Like that's it.
It's the opposite.
They're just like, there's another movie.
Yeah, well, they'll be shocked when they find out about another Spider-Man movie or another Black Panther movie or whatever other films are going to be coming out. Because yeah,
I think that those people, which do exist, that's maybe like a third of people who went to see that movie.
Kids, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe
and very, very old people. Like, if I'm not gonna try to shit on my stepdad again, but if I wasn't his stepson, I don't think he would know that there was another movie.
He'd be like, why are you talking about me so much? Why don't you go watch another movie for the second time, you little homo?
I love that I've given him this East Coast accent, but he has like he's very hick. Like he's
okay. Now I immediately understand everything you're saying to me.
That's just my automatic go-to for gruff stepfather / father voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think there's a very small percentage of the people out there that don't realize that there's a sequel coming. And those people can gladly give their money to Disney when they want to, when they finally realize that. But for the most part, Disney can just do whatever the fuck they want with this series right now.
Exactly.
But I don't think we've actually discussed like the trailer itself and kind of what our takeaway officially in the show. I mean, like, and we've said there's not a lot to chew on, but what's there?
Real sad.
Yeah, it's hopelessness. Yeah, it's utter desolation.
And in another series of another part of the series I like to call Connor gets let down by music in the trailer that's not in the film. The music in that trailer is great, and I'm sure it's not in the soundtrack.
Probably not. Yeah.
It's like I think the last Aquaman trailer had this like fucking awesome synthwave stuff. I was really into it, and
that's in the film, Connor.
I was kind of hoping for that, honestly.
Like that guitar sound. That's Momoa's theme. Whenever he does anything cool.
I don't think it was that.
And
anything else.
Well, just like I'm just giving you an example, but like there's an entire sequence which is like when you watch it, the first thing you'll think of is, did they copy a scene from Tron Legacy? Because it looks like Tron Legacy and it sounds like Tron Legacy. So yeah, like it's a very 80s synth heavy movie actually. I would say half and half with classical score. So
I still remember how disappointed I was that Sharks Don't Swim was not in Civil War, but regardless, this trip was sad as fuck. It's just Tony sitting there talking to himself, slowly dying from no food.
Or looks like he's getting ready for a rap battle.
I just keep thinking back to 2015. God damn it. I just keep thinking back to 2015 when everybody was like, Marvel movies don't have any weight. Nothing matters in Marvel movies. It's all just taken away. Yeah.
No consequences. Yep.
Yeah, there's no consequences.
Half
Cut
the year
to
is fucking gone.
2019, a whole movie about the whole world, half the world just being gone, non-existent. Like, yeah I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
Like a little bit of suspense is taken away when you know that this movie's gonna be devoted to undoing what Thanos does.
But who cares?
They're gonna explore it. That's the thing.
To this. Half of that is they're not including the story, and these characters are gonna have to pay for to get all this stuff undone. Like the cost is likely most of the original Avengers in one way or another. Like I don't want Cap to die. I would rather Cap get sent back in time to go live out the life he was supposed to and fucking in the.
No, he's dead.
Yeah, no.
Got punched.
No, I don't think he dies, but I do. I think time travel plays into things, especially after hearing something that was said that I won't reveal. But there was a story that came out that you can look up.
Tony, 100%, because I don't see how you continue the series with him alive in the background without him showing up.
Getting married. He's getting married. He's dead.
No, I think there was a big giveaway in Infinity War just when Thanos like recognizes who he is and says like, oh yeah, you're cursed with the burden of knowledge as well. Like I think that was the big like, hey, you're done, Tony. Like you're gonna be the one who ends up taking Thanos out in one way or another, or you're the one who wields the Infinity Gauntlet to make everything better. But
that night I could see us going full circle back to his in Avengers 1, which almost killed him but didn't, and then I could see him repeating that play again, but this time, like as Cap said, like you wouldn't throw yourself on a bomb or on a wire. This time,
he just cut the wire. That whole thing. I could see it. I could see them also doing like a. I can't think of a good example, but when a character is forced to take over like a responsibility, they have to like bond with the glove or something, like I don't know, like something like that, like he has to become the Watcher or something like that, something that could
on the wall
thing.
Becomes the Guardian also.
That's Bucky. Bucky's the Watcher on the wall.
He takes over a position like that, like he becomes the new Red Skull, which would be very interesting.
Shuri gets a suit and he becomes AI.
Yes.
God fucking damn it. No, people. She's her own character. She doesn't need to become Ironheart.
Getting a suit.
I actively reject anything from Civil War 2. I don't want it. I don't need it. Get it away.
I don't think they're gonna do Civil War 2.
I don't think so either. I don't think Brie Olsen. I don't think Brie. I don't think she would allow that to happen.
She would look at that comment and be like, "Nope."
Well, she would hear what it's about and what happens, and she'd be like, "No, that's not the character that I've been playing for 2 movies now."
I'm not going to go from your Superman level trump card to just needlessly antagonistic for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
I also
unless they take that story and make it better, in which case, maybe could happen.
I mean, that with the first Civil War.
I think the movie version of Civil War is better than the comic event because I think it makes the main players involved look less shitty than they do in the page.
Yeah.
Because it's as much as I am forever on Team Cap, like both of those guys in the comic are like Tony is cartoonishly diabolical and is doing some inhuman things, but Cap kind of comes off as a hypocrite at times. So
like silver is like now you have 13 pieces of silver. It's fucking dope.
Yeah, and Daredevil,
that whole
and go to hell.
Yeah.
Go to hell.
It's the whole thing with Cap and that is he's just like a petulant child. He's not being very realistic about things. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
I don't know, we're not that far removed from Endgame at this point. We're not even that far removed from Captain Marvel. So
yeah, no, I mean Captain Marvel is what, March?
I think we get one more trailer for Endgame.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think it's just the Super Bowl. That's it. That's the last we hear. Yeah.
I can't wait for more Marvel movies. Like I
Yeah.
miss that feeling. I miss that feeling. Like I'm going to the movie to see a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I was kind of angry that they didn't wait for Ant-Man and the Wasp because I still think we didn't need it that soon.
Here's
Yeah.
I don't know if any of you guys heard this, but I did see an article a while back. I don't remember if I read the entire thing or not, but I saw it implied that the reason why the Far From Home movie apparently put a lot of pressure on Marvel, and wanted it out sooner. Marvel wanted to wait.
Yeah,
Damn it,
I mean, that would make sense, but I don't know. They're still on their 3 movies a year thing, so it does kind of, I don't know. I could see Sony being like that though, but that was
of course they are,
before.
because
Yeah,
Sony's going
before
to use
last
whatever
year.
leverage they have.
Amy Pascal mailed Kevin Feige a sandwich. It just said soon.
No, it's Kevin Feige woke up with a sandwich next to him in his bed.
No, he just gets sandwiches sent to him. Like, Kevin,
Yeah.
this is your
Yeah.
future.
I don't know. Disney, like, why does Disney take so much pressure from Sony? Like, they could just buy like Spider-Man back probably tomorrow if they wanted to.
Because they don't
They
want to have
could.
to spend the full amount of money on
Yeah,
it.
I
They
understand
want-
that. I understand that part.
I think it would be too needlessly costly and would probably be a little excessive for them to just like walk over to Sony and steamroll them.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
also, I think at that point, like you'd raise too many red flags of like, hey, you guys trying to monopolize the industry? You want to not do that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's true too.
Yeah.
It's just funny to me to watch Sony be like, put it out sooner.
I feel like if pressure enough, like Disney would fucking turn their cannons toward Warner Brothers before Sony.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, motherfuckers? Let's do this.
Yeah.
It is time.
They suddenly call Christopher Nolan. It's like, yeah, we're gonna pull all our big guns. Christopher Nolan's
Yeah.
like, no.
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
I'm gonna
No, fuck
not.
you guys.
I'm gonna.
Yeah. I've got a sci-fi movie I've got to make for $50. It's going to look like the most expensive thing ever. Goodbye.
I'm going to make a movie about the French English War of 18 blah blah blah. Oh no! What happened?
Oh no!
I don't know. I put my hand on a mouse and then it jumped off my desk. I don't know what happened.
This is a great intro. It's got everything.
Well, Arlen, you're not supposed to plug a real mouse into your computer. You're supposed to use a plastic one.
Oh, okay.
Dad joke, Eric. Jesus Christ.
Where do you put the USB cord?
But
I'll be back in a second, guys.
God,
Man,
where
things
did
have
the
changed
mouse
since
go?
I've been gone.
Captain Marvel. I know there's a recent trailer that came out that was really good. I just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah,
I heard it point out like, oh yeah, there's a good trailer.
I'm not going to say any of the trailers have been bad so far. It's just
They've just been very like, hey, what's this movie about? She's punched an old lady. There's a green alien. Okay.
The cat alien, probably, maybe.
It's fair to say that the trailers,
No, go ahead.
The trailers haven't done a great job of selling the character to people that don't know who it is. I feel like that's fair.
That's a major issue.
Well, that's one of the things in the newest trailer too, is that they're implying some sort of interesting history to Captain Marvel and Carol, how she got her powers. I don't know what they're trying to imply, but they're trying to
definitely Marvel. Let's just get it out of the way.
No, he's not.
He's
not. No, there was a leak. There was a leak of a Funko Pop that
Super Skrull.
No, I'm not going to say who because I'm not going to spoil it for anybody. But
oh shit!
If you want to look, you can find it.
I think I know what it is. Now that I thought for a second, I'm not going to say.
Yeah. So yeah, he's probably not Marvel.
Okay, fair enough. All right, that's If it's what I think it is, it's okay.
Alan's hopes have been dashed.
Mm-hmm. Whatever. You know what? We don't need to see Marvel. I'm sorry. He's an outdated character.
It's not the 70s anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they wanted to do Genesis Vale, then fine, or Genus Vale, whatever, his son.
With the what are they called? The photon bands?
I can't remember.
Oh,
This has officially gone way too nerdy for me.
something stupid.
It's something that Quasar had, I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember what they are, but yeah, it's Rick Jones.
I actually, since I don't know enough about like Cosmic Marvel, like Infinity of Law's character, actually like what it's referencing, I'm not familiar with it, so I'm completely unaffected by this.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, just don't worry about it. Just watch the movie and see who it is.
Don't worry about it, Connor.
Connor.
Sometimes, in a lot of cases, spoilers don't really bother me. So,
No.
Yeah, I'm kind of at
because
that
you have
point.
no feelings, so
I'm at that point unless
I
it's
have lots of feelings.
Unless that spoiler is like specifically like earth shattering.
yeah,
Like
if it's
I don't want
if
to
it's
fucking
the
Here's the thing. I was still shocked when I saw Han Solo die in Star Wars Episode 7, but like I mentioned, I read like 2 years prior to that. Someone broke down the basics of that scene, and I was still affected by it. It didn't bother me.
I mean,
but it's the point where like if you're doing it maliciously, then you're a dickhead. Like if you're standing outside a movie theater going like Han Solo dies, fuck you.
Yeah.
you mean like people were doing when the Half-Blood Prince came out on the first book game, or
there were also people around social media who were spoiling the ending of Logan, like arbitrary comments that had nothing to do with that movie.
Yeah.
But I've said it before. I went into the first season of Flash knowing that Harrison Wells was the bar. It didn't change the experience for me. I don't know. Spoilers don't ruin the fun for me. They kind of actually enhance the journey.
That's not the way it is for me. If somebody had told me the ending of Split, I would have punched them in the face.
Yeah.
So yeah.
For me, it's case to case. Like, don't tell me how Split ends, but I'm okay with kind of knowing a villain twist, like in it.
I mean, you looked it up, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly, and it didn't bother me at all. I'm still fucking stoked to see it.
I know, but still, you get what I'm saying, though. It's not normal to
telling
look
you
up the ending of Split when I tell you, don't look it up.
Yeah, no, that's telling me it's like fucking now. I don't have much to say about Captain Marvel yet because it's mostly uncharted territory for me. So I will wait and see.
I'm excited. I want to see it.
Yeah,
I was more excited by the behind the scenes stuff that they released. I don't know, like that was interesting, like hearing what they had to say about it. But
I'm excited for Superman Top Gun.
I'm gonna see it. So I feel like we're all gonna see it. It's hard to say.
Less homoerotic Top Gun.
I mean, why does it have to be less homoerotic? Why can't it
to be more? I'd be okay.
I mean, we don't know. I mean, somehow
Hunter, you don't know that Nick Fury and Coulson didn't have a sordid, steamy history in the 90s.
I'm not saying that doesn't happen. Did Eric?
I mean, there are other guys on that Kree planet there. I mean, Ronan and whoever Jude Law's playing, they could have some stuff going down. I would
actually be overjoyed if Ronan was gay as shit.
That would be fantastic. It would make a lot of people angry, but I would love it. So
that's why I would love it.
He's just screaming at his husband. The whole...
No. I want to be like Captain Holt on Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
It's even better. This is my husband, Kevin.
Same fucking delivery. Oh, you'll call me Silk.
The statistical analysis.
Great show. Anyway, what else is in the Marvel up here? I forget.
We covered Punisher. We covered Marvel.
We talked about Wolverine being in Endgame. No,
God damn it! God damn it! Stop it!
No, I think if that's all the Marvel stuff, we can talk about that Watchmen thing that came out.
The 5 seconds of Watchmen.
Okay, it's impossible for me to even like react to this properly because it was 5 seconds of the most disjointed nonsense I've ever seen. As far as like,
it was a nothing trailer.
If you blink, you'll fucking miss it.
Yeah, it was nothing.
Why did you show me this? Why did you show a fucking logo? Don't show me 5 seconds of non-contextual footage that I don't know that I've. no emotional resonance whatsoever to me.
I mean,
it's important to understand that this wasn't just a Watchmen thing. This was a larger HBO thing.
Which is what I'm saying. Like, if you're gonna do that, like, I don't know, if the first look at this show should not have been like, it's in the middle of this 5-minute video and it's gone.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think they should have released a trailer at the same time. That's what they should have
Yeah,
They should
that
have
probably would have been the best.
released a trailer like the Wednesday after the sizzle reel.
Still, this
Yeah.
obtuse, like, overtly evasive way of going about the marketing of this. The fact that there is no marketing for the show. Every time someone in the show is asked what it is, they go, "It's a remix," and they put their fucking pinky to their mouth like Dr. Evil and go, fucking
They're like, you won't understand what it is.
Outside of all the obfuscation they have going on, I'm still willing to give this a try because my faith in Lindelof has been renewed after The Leftovers.
Yeah. Leftovers season 2 and 3 are some of the best television I've seen ever. So yeah. Like, I'm willing to give this at least a shot.
I think it isn't with Lindelof because, like, my initial issue with him was Prometheus and the rewrites he did to that movie that just, like, butchered it. But
even then, I blame the studio.
Yeah, I don't.
They have gotten Ridley Scott for just I seemingly losing his touch in later years, and forgetting why people love Alien. But I also
Blade Runner movies.
Conceptually, I'm not really keen on Watchmen becoming. I'm not really keen on the attempts to turn Watchmen into more than it was. So far, I've never read before Watchmen because I just didn't have a desire to. I was like, I don't really need this.
Parts of it are okay.
That's what I've heard. But the thing is how the next bit of Watchmen nostalgia was Doomsday Clock. Like, my enthusiasm for anything future Watchmen did could not be just any more than this.
See, I
let me down almost every fucking turn.
I enjoy every time they introduce new Watchmen stuff just because I imagine it makes Alan Moore go more insane.
No, okay, no, that part of it I find to be endlessly amusing because, like, it's one part Alan Moore being such a grumpy old fuck. And two, the other part is like DC is like, we own this, so we can do whatever we want with it. So please be as grumpy as you fucking want. All that drama makes me so happy.
Yeah. It makes him more powerful, so he can mine silver with his bare hands now.
I don't know. Watchmen works so well when it's self-contained. I feel like trying to add more to it and build on that foundation, it doesn't really work. And it seems to be very nostalgia based, and just
I don't know.
I get. Oh wait, like this show could be a fucking banger, but I don't fucking know because no one's telling me.
They showed us nothing.
They haven't showed us a single thing.
They might as well showed us a logo, like Connor said. Like,
if they showed us a logo, I would be excited. If they showed us a logo and like just Jeremy Irons talking, okay, that's enough. That's all I need, but not these like random clips and segments. Like, even though here's the thing. So if it wasn't Watchmen, if it was just a new show, and I don't know if they called it Men with Weird Masks or something like that.
Just something generic like Supers or something.
Yeah. Like I would be excited because that dude with the metal mask, that design is kind of weird and cool, and I don't know what's going on there.
Fucking badass.
Yeah.
Well,
and like,
I mean, and maybe I need to rewatch that little bit of the trailer. Sorry to interrupt, but that kind of looks like it was in a high school.
It's Destro.
Yeah, I'm looking at like a gallery, image gallery, and it does kind of. It has. So was either that or a hotel or like a loading area.
I know a lot of people got worked up over the Rorschach image, but like I know for a fact that it's probably it's a copycat or it's part of a movement.
I think it is.
The Rorschach movement.
I think the real Rorschach wouldn't have eyes. He would not.
He wouldn't have anything because he'd be a pile of mass that's up in the northern.
You know what I mean. He would never. If the real Rorschach were still alive, he would never show his eyes because that's part of his whole psychology. Like,
but I think the show does address his journal, and there's likely an underground movement based on the idea of like giving his journal as fact. And I know they said fake news is going to be incorporated into this.
Yeah.
So likely it's like, what about Rorschach's journal? And they'll go, that's all fabricated. It doesn't make sense.
Gonna be real honest with you. I'm not that interested in this show, but like, I'm not gonna say it's bad just based on this like 2 seconds of bullshit we saw.
We initially addressed this when they said like, "Oh, it's gonna take place in Trump's America." All of us like, "No fucking thanks. We live here. It's
I don't need this show.
We're good.
We're living the fucking nightmare. We don't need someone to extend it onto our TV screens." This is one of the reasons why I didn't watch that season of American Horror Story, because it opened up and I'm like, I see this every fucking day, and it's not funny or entertaining there, and I don't like the satirizing of it. So it just turned me off immediately.
Yeah.
Nauseating. So that turned me off. I know other people are like, interesting, because it's supposed to work the same way the Nixon stuff did, but I don't think it's on the same level. Nixon was, dare I say, like leaps and bounds more intelligent than Donald Trump is, and the only reason we're in the state that we're in is because Donald Trump is a fucking idiot.
Nixon was actually a politician to begin with, so yeah,
but he was not a crook.
And a Democrat at that. Anyways,
think about that.
Yeah. How about you take that, huh? Think about
Take
those
walls.
Yeah, guys, come on.
Generation Snowflake.
Oh
wow. Okay.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna say I'm super excited, but I have faith that even if it's a train wreck, it'll be an interesting train wreck.
Yeah. And the casting is great, so there'll be some good performances. We got Gene Smart in here, which I've been rewatching Fargo season 2, and Gene Smart.
Who did she play in Fargo season 2?
She's the head of the Gearhart family.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Sid is her granddaughter. Because Noah Hawley likes to reuse people. So yeah, like I don't know. I'm still gonna watch it. Like I'm gonna watch all of it probably. Like I'm gonna rewatch all of True Detective season 3 just because. Why not? Why not? So, yeah.
Why would you watch a TV show you've already seen before, Alan? Why don't you come out here?
Yeah, why would I do that? Yeah. Go work on a car. God damn it. Okay. All right. So we can be done if we want, or we can go into extras. It's up to everybody.
What were the extras?
Yeah, I don't remember.
Dune.
Them all off.
Yeah. Dune is something I think that only relates to you and me, Arlen.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, no, the casting is exciting, kind of, for Dune.
Yeah, it is.
I don't say I don't care about Dune. But I haven't indulged in that little universe or that area of fiction in a long time.
Yeah.
It's so
I'm
good.
more excited about these.
I saw a movie like
really
15 fucking years ago, and I don't remember much of it except for Sting's codpiece.
I don't remember much either, but like this, so Dave Bautista has been cast as somebody
as the Beast Raban. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I guess Eric's the one who knows the actual characters for the most part. I just know that the one and only, the space skateboard himself, Stellar Skarsgård, has been cast as the Baron Harkonnen.
I've seen you refer to this space skateboard twice now. What the fuck are you talking about?
You don't remember Stellar Skateboard? So during the Deep Blue Sea episode of How Did This Get Made, they decided that Stellar Skarsgård's name is Stellar Skateboard from now on.
I forgot about that.
Yes, and the podcast listeners edited his wiki to reflect it as saying Stellar Skateboard and known as Stellar Skateboard.
Yeah.
So yes,
that's awesome.
But so he's the one where like I really want to zero in on him as the Baron Harkonnen, because if you're doing this and you're not casting every one of his children as the other Harkonnen family members, you're fucking crazy. If you're not casting all of them.
Oh my God, I didn't even think about that. Like
Alexander
Bill Skarsgård would be perfect as one of the weird fucking children. I want to know who would play Fade, the character that Sting played.
I mean, he's supposed to be the same age as Paul or can that be?
That's the thing. Like, it's been a while since I've read the book, but I think Paul and he were around the same age.
Okay.
Maybe Fade was a little bit older, but Fade was his nephew, if I remember correctly. It wasn't his son.
I was gonna say if you had to pick someone to play that role, I'd just give it to Billy Idol.
Who
But
does
no.
Here?
but if he's supposed to be much younger, then never mind.
Yeah, well, no, you're not going to have somebody who looks like a 15-year-old fighting a 70-year-old man.
Yeah,
That's not going to work.
I don't know
No.
shit about
Yeah.
right.
Because there are other
Star
stars.
Hunter?
I guess.
I have seen that dodocumentary for Jodorowsky's Dune.
Mhm.
And,
Jodorowsky, yeah.
Jodorowsky, holy shit!
Who does?
No wonder why that movie didn't get made.
Yeah.
Who's the guy who does the litany against fear?
That would be, well, that's a Bene Gesserit thing. That's the orange Catholic Bible. But yeah, that's Paul who does that while he has his hand in the Gom Jabbar.
Gom Jabbar, yes.
Yeah.
I know this. I know Dune, guys.
Walter Skarsgård is 23. I feel like that's close.
Yeah. Well, how old is the actor who's playing Paul? I can't remember the actor's name.
Timothy Chalamet.
That's
he
it.
looks very young, but he's like, I feel like he's like 23 or something like that.
Okay.
So it wouldn't be that far of a stretch. But there are that's the thing. There are other Skarsgård children. But you could cast Alexander Skarsgård as an older version of that character, and I wouldn't care at all. Just put him in the Sting character, and it would work for me.
I mean, because they've already cast Paul's mother. I can't remember who the actress is who's doing that. I'm curious who's going to play Baron Leto. Fuck. And I'm trying to remember who else. Well, the Gurney, the guy that Patrick Stewart played in the Lynch movie, who's like their master of arms. I'm curious to see who they might cast as him.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of characters. Like, there's all the Fremen that they need to cast. There's so much more to go on. Like, the characters that they keep introducing, or at least the actors they keep casting, are great choices. So I'm very hopeful for this movie.
I'm into it. Stellan Skarsgård is the one that got me excited, though.
Because Bill Skarsgård in full Pennywise makeup, just all that.
Yes, that would work. That'd be creepy, but it would work.
Yes, it would. Okay. So that was one of them. Did everybody see the trailer for What We Did in the Shadows, or What We Do in the Shadows?
Yes. I watched that today.
Show?
Mm-hmm.
And it's not much, but it's kind of getting the sense of humor across. So
yeah.
Okay. Don't add me on this.
Okay. Alan?
That's gonna piss me off.
No. It's just no. It's not one of those like hot takes. What's this? Can someone remind me what is this? I'm lost.
It's a TV show based off of the movie What We Do in the Shadows.
No, I know that, but is it?
You don't know what?
Wait.
I saw the trailer.
You seen the movie?
But
yeah, I've seen the movie.
It's it's the same universe basically. It's the same, but it's basically
America. Yeah, it takes place in America.
Yeah. Different crew of vampires, but same basic idea. Part of the What We Do in the Shadows verse, which is they need a new title for that.
Oh, the WWID verse.
Because they did do a show. Yeah.
DIS, WWDIS. That's it.
I really thought Alan was prepping for one of those I haven't seen Die Hard things.
No, I'm waiting for you guys, or I'm waiting for you and Orland to be free so we could actually watch it over Discord.
Oh well, Alan, you didn't ask about it.
Well, we can figure this out after the show.
Yeah, save it for after the show, and just go watch Die Hard, and then you can watch it again with everybody.
Yes,
I will do it. Yes, even if you do watch it already.
Anyways.
Saw that the Us trailer. Holy fuck!
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
I don't like.
It's a good trailer for the most part.
For the most part, what don't you like about it?
There's some very trailer company shit going on there, like some bad sound some just like disruptive sound editing and stuff like that. Like
Okay, but
music
that's not
things that are too
necessarily
loud. No, that's
that's not
me
the fault of the
commenting on the
movie.
editor. I'm
Yeah.
commenting on the marketing department, and
Okay.
I don't like it. I don't like when that happens. When
I don't like loud things in my scary movie trailer.
oh, I am very picky when it comes to trailers.
They got 5 on it.
So
Exactly.
I share the same sentiment,
Yeah.
and I think that we are let's see, we're 8 years removed from Inception, and I think it's time to stop using the loud sound as a way to pump up the intensity of the trailer.
Yeah, but
the arbitrarily loud music sting that doesn't need to be there. That's not going to be in the movie. Like
What?
that's yeah.
Unless
So-
it's Godzilla roar, I don't care.
Mhm.
it's the people who are doing editing now, people who grew up listening to indie rock, and they have the loud, quiet, loud sentiment going on through everything instead of just all the other bands they listen to. Now they're applying it to their real life jobs. So that's the way it works.
I prefer if they'd used Bohemian Rhapsody to using the loud sound thing, honestly, because Jesus Christ, because it was annoying and like it's. Again, I think the trailer does a good job of selling you on what the tone of this movie is going to be. Like there was an old lady sitting almost right next to me when I was seeing this in a theater, and she was like, "No, thank you." And I was like, "But it's the director of Get Out. You should be able to give it a little bit more of a shot than that." So yeah.
Are you sure she wasn't saying no thank you not because of the film itself, but because of the cast of the film?
Oh wow!
Wow. Well,
I
you said
mean-
old lady. You know, they're notoriously racist.
I'm going to be fair to this lady. I was watching If Beale Street Could Talk, and there are many moments in that where black people were very happy, and she did not pull out her phone and dial. What? No.
These people on the screen are very happy and they're black. I need to talk to an officer.
And when a cop
Ma'am,
did
you're-
show up on screen, she wasn't like trying to tell him about what happened.
So under her ear, screen, waiting for something to happen. She's like, "Where is he?"
Wait, Arlen,
old
so-
white women are terrible.
Yeah,
Yes.
movie theater Mildred.
Anyways, that movie is great, by the way, for anybody wondering. So yeah, okay. I feel like
Yeah,
we're spinning
us.
the
I
wheels.
know us. Just it. If Jordan Peele can continue what he did with Get Out, then I will continue to throw money at him for as long as he wants me to.
Yeah, I'm gonna subscribe to All Access when Twilight Zone happens.
I'm gonna need to bootleg it somehow because
It's funny because I was getting ready to sit down and watch this trailer. I was like, okay, how do you go from Get Out to whatever's next? And what he had in his up his sleeve, I was ready for. I was like, oh, fucking evil, fucking murderous doppelgangers.
maybe who knows what they are?
All dressed like fucking horror movie villains. Yes, please.
It is pretty dope. Like,
Yeah.
And it's a really smart idea because you don't have to hire other actors to play the bad guys. You hire a couple really good actors and then they play multiple roles.
And you get some,
which is just really smart.
For a day.
Yeah.
Well, that, and I kind of love the fact that the mom and the dad are both not leads, but they were sub leads from Black Panther. So that's
M'Baku.
Yep.
Yeah, it's M'Baku, and it's I can't remember her name.
Totally did.
Yeah, and she's
Dukes something. Winston Dukes. Yeah. I think it's Winston Dukes, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she was. Who did she play in Black Panther again? Fuck, I can't remember.
She was a Koyo.
Also,
Okay. Yep.
The little orange lady in the Star Wars films. The fucking what's her face?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. She's
Maz Kanata.
Yeah. Where's my husband?
My boyfriend. Yeah.
Yes.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I will gladly see this movie and continue to support Jordan Peele and whatever he wants to do.
I continue to support the idea of comedic actors and writers becoming horror creators.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wouldn't call it a wave because there's only it's not like it hasn't happened before. Like Robin Williams has done movies like 1 Hour Photo.
Yeah, but that's
more of this to happen.
I feel like that's a little bit different.
Coming to the dance, saying like, "I have an idea that hasn't really been done before."
I feel like Robin Williams, though, he was already proven quality as an actor, and Jordan Peele coming out of nowhere with Get Out and what's his face, David, or God damn it, from Quiet Place. The dad,
John Krasinski.
Yes, thank you. Like, he wasn't really I mean, he's branched out since The Office, but I mean, I thought those things kind of coalesced at the same time that he started doing, what was it, Jack Reacher, whatever it is, the Amazon show.
Jack Reacher.
He
did that 13 Hours movie, which is actually really good.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but he was very good in that, featuring Matthew Letcher, one of our favorites on this show.
Yeah, so it's I feel like it's more a out of nowhere these people are doing horror, as opposed to using what you were saying, Connor, with Robin Williams. He was a proven commodity, and he just felt like branching out a little bit.
Yeah,
my point is, like, it seems like we do have people who are coming from community backgrounds who are approaching the horror genre with an idea or a concept that hasn't been explored fully or hasn't been explored at all. Get Out is like entirely original. I don't think I've ever seen anything like it, and A Quiet Place is a really fresh approach to a monster film.
Yeah, it is, and it's an interesting idea.
Now everyone thinks that if you make a movie where one of your senses has been disabled or enhanced, that
I don't think that's what happened.
Here's the thing, Carter. That's based on a book.
Yeah.
I'm joking. Because apparently people think Bird Box, The Happening, and A Quiet Place are all the same fucking. People are stupid.
Bird Box really isn't that bad. I actually enjoyed it.
I'm not.
You did, but I don't have time. So yeah.
I don't want to waste my time watching a Sandra Bullock movie. I'm sorry,
dude. You're missing out. It's actually not bad.
I'll slap the shit out of you. Sandra Bullock is great.
Yeah, but it's not my bag.
Great in The Blind Side, everybody's favorite film.
I'm just gonna wait until the era of take quicks stops, and then people stop talking about Bird Box, so I can watch it in peace.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. Like, even my wife, who doesn't really read any of the same stuff that we look at, like, she's mostly like in design blogs and things along those lines. Like, she's like, yeah, I've seen a whole bunch of memes about this movie. We need to watch it sooner rather than later. I'm like, okay, cool. And we're not going into a debate about it, but the movie isn't that bad.
Talk those memes, Eric.
No, I don't, because I'm a fucking 40-year-old man. It's not that bad. Like, seriously, don't believe the negative hype. Like, just check it out, watch it for yourself. It's really not that bad.
Just imagine your wife just like has pictures like grumpy cat all around the house, just like
no. My wife isn't.
Look at this.
My wife isn't a 70-year-old grandmother. What I was trying to put across was that she's actually kind of disconnected from a lot of stuff.
Oh,
so
and
she
that makes her incredibly fortunate.
Yes,
she is. Yeah. She just kind of
plug desperately.
She smiles and nods when I start going off on a tangent about stuff. So yeah.
Sweet summer child.
It's less a marriage and more like she's taking care of a small retarded child.
Damn.
Oh God. Oh my. All right. I think we're good. Unless you guys want to indulge me and Eric going off on a Bandersnatch thing, which I don't think any of you do. So
no,
I don't want to. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't.
The one thing I did want to say about it is it's very Black Mirror in concept, but the episode itself didn't feel like a Black Mirror episode to me.
Also, leave that kid alone, for fuck's sake. If you're listening to this,
yes, the guy who plays the superstar game creator, like, people were giving him a bunch of shit on Twitter about the way he looks in the show.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he left Twitter. Yeah.
God. Oh, fuck those people. This is the guy who was going to be Pennywise. You're lucky he doesn't track you all down and kill you.
And show you his penis teeth.
Okay. And Eric took it there. Okay. But no, yeah, Eric's not wrong. It doesn't feel much like Black Mirror, mostly because I don't know what the cause of everything is. It doesn't it feels like a step away.
Without having seen it, my initial take in it was like seems like a Black Mirror branded media experiment.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is. It is. It very much is. And there are moments where it works because there are moments where
of what it is by nature.
Yeah, and where the Black Mirror-ness of it just like shines through. It's like that was very effective and that was very well done. And then there are moments where it's like this feels
what
like
are you doing?
A compromise. Yeah, like
Yep.
This is not how
very
Black
much
Mirror
so.
goes. This is not a Black Mirror choice.
No. No.
All I'll say is there is, because there are multiple endings, there's one very like bittersweet ending that you can find.
I'm
and I'm not going to go
is
into
it the
what
one where things go crazy at the shrink's office?
Oh, that one's great. That one's fantastic.
Okay. Yeah.
Featuring the woman from the movie Pre-Birth, which is a great, or no, Prevenge, which is a great film that we should talk about on another episode. That ending goes crazy, but there's one that's very like sad and kind of melancholy, and I rather enjoyed that one. So yeah, but it's not like a beat you over the head. It's like a happy sad type of thing, kind of like a yeah. So check that out, people. Even if you haven't watched Black Mirror before, I do think it's a good entry point, kind of.
Well, and it's just for the fact that it's a super fascinating experiment. Yes. It might not be 100% successful, but it's a really interesting concept.
Yeah. And
it's good to see more people trying this kind of format for something. So
yeah, I think Netflix is going to be doing this a lot.
Yes,
like, a lot. Yeah, I mean, they won't be doing it with the Marvel shows, unfortunately. But
no, God damn
it. Yeah. And for anybody who's like, I wonder if the kid from Dunkirk has any acting ability. He does. Yep. He's got some talent. So yeah.
The kid's got some chops.
Got Max.
Other than just being a silent kid for a whole film and not talking at all. Yeah. Okay. I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're done. Yeah, we'll spiral further down into madness if we go any longer.
We'll just do impressions of my stepdad all night.
Alan, are you talking on the computer with your fake friends again? Come out here and tell me about this crankshaft.
Drove all the way out to your college to talk to you about this.
What type of oil do I need in the car? Is it 10W30 or 10W40?
I'm gonna go smoke an entire pack of Marlboro.
I need you to smoke this entire pack of Swisher Sweets. No, we're breaking off the wooden tips.
My mom made us some spaghetti, and we have to eat it before Tuesday. Come on.
What an odd thing to choose.
I have fucking nothing to say. Anyway.
That's a real story.
Bye, everybody.
All right, bye.
I love this show.